I don't think any of us sleep particularly well when we've been on an evening. And you can never, ever be totally prepared on community. There's always something that you just think, oh my goodness, what do we do?
Lisa Bingham is one of around 10,000 district nurses in Britain. She treats the sick in their own homes. And during the pandemic, she's often been the only link her patients have had with the outside world.
Since COVID, the calls have just been coming thick and fast. As a nurse, you want to help people, don't you? And if you've got calls coming in saying somebody's in pain, they can't go to the toilet to pass urine and they're in agony and you've got nobody to send, you know, you just feel guilty. This is a district nurse's holy boot. Got a bit of everything in our boot. BP machines, blood sugars. You just need to be prepared to go to anything or everything. Have they turned it today, sweetheart?
Yes, she did it this morning.
She did it this morning. OK, no worries.
Jeff is 77. He is facing up to the fight of his life right now, battling tongue cancer. But there's one person who's always been by his side.
We've been twins for a very long time. Well, for some 77 years now, so we really were identical twins. You wouldn't have known the difference between us, which is at the moment is hard to believe. But people say, is there a special sort of relationship between brothers and twins? And the answer is probably yes. There probably is. Because as twins, you're automatically thrown together.
Oh, you've run it through and everything? OK.
You can't state how important it is. We would be lost without this. We wouldn't have a chance. We wouldn't know what to do.
They are more important to me than the hospital at the moment. I feel a lot better because of them. Then I would probably now just be saying, oh, I ain't bothering with that. And I wouldn't do the job myself. I'd probably give up on it.
I'll see you again now I've met you now. I know where you are, don't I? So
You won't be able to resist me.
well, this is true.
The pandemic has tested this service to the limits, and it's not over.
We're literally out on our own and we have to make the decisions. We've got out of hours GPs, but at the moment it's been an hour and a half on the phone and we just can't get through, and then you are literally just trying to come up with a solution to help that patient the best you can at the time.
Two long years of a pandemic have taken their toll on the National Health Service. It is, right now, going through the most difficult winter in its history.
We're in a little bit of a surreal position. We've had a really difficult few weeks, as everyone's aware. Are diagnostics on the call?
No, we're struggling with staffing.
OK.
So ED, we've got waits in ED of just over 20 hours at the moment.
I've got no beds at the moment.
The bedded area in ESH1 is full with no discharges planned. We are looking at cancellation of routine cases.
I think we all know what we need to do. So if we meet back at 12 o'clock with an update, thank you very much.
How difficult has it been in the last few weeks to run a hospital?
Whew, difficult question. It's been incredibly, incredibly challenging. And actually, my resilience has been tested in terms of coming into work every day.
Take your time.
And helping others. But actually, people look on you as a role model in terms of that leadership and assistance So you have to keep going. And that's really tough.
So I know you're waiting for a bed on the ward, aren't you, Edna? You're waiting to go to the ward. So you've got 2 patients, yeah? My name's Tracy. I'm one of the senior sisters of the emergency department. We are the front door, so you never know what's coming through that door. We see all types of people, from minor injuries, simple fracture, right up to people that come in cardiac arrest, having heart attacks. How I can describe it is you'll walk into your shift and you're in your uniform, you walk into your shift and that's it, nurse head goes on. Because you know then that you are busy and you know that you have got to stay focused, positive and get through that shift. And some days you can go in and you've got 50 plus patients in your department at 7 o'clock in the morning.
28-year-old Craig Powell is seriously ill. Part of his bowel has ruptured and he needs urgent surgery. But he's already been waiting here for 10 hours and there are no operating theatres available.
We haven't got a bed for him currently and he does need to be operated on fairly urgently. Right, so Craig Powell, can you tell me, is he COVID negative? Is he testing green? So what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of moving around. Any movement? Any planned movement?
Surgical bed manager Liz Brooks has no choice but to cancel a less urgent operation so that Craig can be helped.
So that's it, a patient sadly died on there just now. So that's
But amid the bustle, COVID continues to cast its shadow.
So we really are getting to the point where critical care capacity is absolutely limited. OK, so I want to see if I can do some sort of deal. Currently I haven't got a bed, but it's really going to be happening quite soon. Yeah.
There is a simple truth in the NHS. The most seriously ill are seen first, and that means others have to make way.
Hello, is it Craig? Yeah. My name's Liz, I'm the surgical bed manager. Are you heading off to theatre now? Yeah. Oh, you're going to theatre, that's fine, that's lovely. So we'll be sorting that bed out for you, so no worries. Sometimes urgency takes precedence, so obviously if someone is very, very sick in ED, they are going to get a little bit more precedence over someone who's been planned for a routine operation.
And so almost 6 million patients are now waiting for planned treatment on the NHS. And that number is expected to rise to 12 million by this time next year.
I was blue lighted here and today is my 36th day in hospital.
So I want you to come down and then drive back up.
And while millions wait to get into hospital, many thousands are desperate to get out.
You're doing really well, mate, yeah.
Paul's a diabetic. His infected foot became so bad, there was only one option.
When they told me I was going to lose me below the knee, I've had better days.
Good. Not every amputee gets to the point where they're standing up.
My mum died on the 23rd of December. And my sisters put everything back to try and get me home for the 10th of February when my mum's funeral is. So they're saying they want me to put him in a nursing home. And I said, I've flatly refused. I just want to go home. I need to grieve. And I can do that with my family. Yeah.
Well done, mate. So that was the first time you stood, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Everything's pointing in the right direction. Good job, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.
Paul can't be discharged without a plan for his care, and so his local social services department must now arrange help at home. But that service is under pressure too, and so for now, he's stuck on this ward.
Paul's at a point now where being in hospital doesn't benefit him. He needs to be in his own environment so he can continue his longer-term rehab.
There are still many patients here with COVID-19, but there are signs of recovery for those most seriously ill. Ian has been on intensive care for 7 weeks, struck down with COVID.
I was the last one to speak to him and say, you know, I'll sort it out. And you can't.
Ian was double vaccinated, but caught COVID a week before he was due to have his booster.
The first time I come to see him was Christmas Day. And that was the first day he opened his eyes. It was just like you'd been given the world. Especially being Christmas Day. It was like a miracle, really. Yeah.
The intensive care ward is much quieter than it used to be. Most here are unvaccinated. They lie in their beds, helpless, relying on medicine to make it out alive.
I'm Lisa, by the way. Nice to meet you. Oh, bless him. Ken is 75, lives with his wife Jenny. He's got cancer of pancreas. Right, if I can just look at your notes then and I can see what I can give you, if that's okay.
Ken had surgery and was for a time in remission. But a few months ago the pain returned and Ken was sent for a scan.
And that scan showed that the cancer had come back. It has spread to my liver. And basically there was nothing more that they could do.
The services we've got from palliative care and the district nurses, the support's there, they're on the end of the phone. He just feels like rubbish at the moment. So the future is likely to be short. Which is hard.
How are you?
Tired.
It's just everything that I'm going to be leaving behind. Jenny, the life I've known, the things I do, the games I play. All the things I like to do, I can't do them anymore. And knowing it's coming to the end of everything, I've just got to accept that that's the case and get on with it. But there you go, sometimes it gets you.
I've told you that your call if needed.
We're there on call and
all
call
night,
whenever we want
all
to.
night, yeah. Till 8:15, then the day team start again. It was actually the first time I'd met Ken and Jenny, but he obviously wanted to share a lot more, so you need to be there, and you can't just stop in the middle of a conversation like that and say, I'm really sorry, we'll talk next time. You've got to be there and listen, because he might not have that opportunity again.
Number 19 is just going to the ward, so then you can come into 19.
The pandemic has placed enormous pressures throughout the NHS. What happens in one part of this complex service has inevitable consequences elsewhere. It is a daily struggle for staff and their patients. Nick Martin, Sky News.